Hello, welcome to the Green Machine, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia. I'm Dave, your host, joined as always by Martin. And on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about Ireland's Euro 2028 bid with the United Kingdom. We're going to be talking about the women's football. We're going to be talking about our boys in green. We're going to be talking about the new Ireland away jersey, which was launched this week. And we'll also be talking about why James McClean's in a bit of bother again. And that and a whole lot more. And of course, your comments towards the end of the show. As I mentioned.
Sorry, that was me.
Don't you dare interrupt. Well, we don't have. Actually, no, Mate. You will wait your turn. A bit of housekeeping as always. With any topic we talk about here, we want you to have your say as per usual. Leave a comment and get involved. Leave a comment and get involved. And we just want to thank everybody for their support of the podcast. And if you want to support us a little bit more, head over to our shop at thegreenmachinepodcast.com, thegreenmachinepodcast.com. You can get yourself a lovely Green Machine Nike jersey for €40. No, was it €45, £40, free delivery anywhere else. And plus, if you fancy a nice set of badges, Green Machine badges, Ireland badges, and some stickers, £18, €20.
Yeah. Again, postage included on them, yeah.
Free postage if you want to give us a bit of support there. We do appreciate it. As always, Martin, how are you doing? We don't have Nick, by the way. He was at KickOn today. KickOn Era 2023. He had a great time there. We'll talk about that in a second. Martin, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Busy week in Irish football world. And yeah, KickOn was on today in Dublin, and Nick was in. There's lots of pictures, lots of images throughout the day. I think had a great time there, and we interviewed Paul during the week, who's the man behind KickOn.
Yes,
seemed to be really well supported. So fair play to everyone who went along to that. We sold a few badges. We had the shirts there. Some fantastic social media posts with some of the lads there actually showing all the wears and tears, I suppose, from this brilliant kind of exhibition of some fantastic historic.
It's a great concept.
Irish football shirts. Brilliant idea, yeah.
It's a fantastic idea, Paul, there. He is a friend of the podcast. We did actually record, Martin, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, we did actually record a special episode that was supposed to be shown at KickOn. But due to a technical snafu, never went. I'm really annoyed about that. Do you know, we might actually release that episode. It wasn't supposed to be for public consumption. It's a little bit.
I think you should release it and give the listeners and
give what they want.
Everyone, give us what we want, because we don't want to kind of send it to the annals a little bit like the Roy Keane MUTV critique that he did many years ago, which set the tone for him to be out the door. There you go. There's your first Roy Keane mention in the podcast this evening. Here I am, the apologist. Apparently,
you are an apologist. Well, apparently, I run a Roy Keane page, not Lansing Road. I shouldn't, because I was a Liverpool fan. I'm not allowed to mention Roy Keane's name, even when we mention stuff that chronologically happens. But anyway, we'll get more onto that later on. I had a bit of an interesting start to the day. I went to bed, as you do, and I was woken up by three very rude people at 5:45 this morning who decided to laugh and joke outside. Parked their car where I live. I live in a Crescent estate. Bastards parked their car, didn't even live there, at some house party, and then he started playing music at the door. So of course I walked out. Man saw me, had my hoodie on. I walked out. He saw me, turned off the thing, and then I was dumping some stuff in the rubbish, and I walked back in. I was like, "Do you mind keeping it down, lads? You know, you did wake me up." "Oh yeah, sorry." My dad always said to me, "Put the Irish Rottweiler head on. It'll get you places in England." Probably the hospital. I love your comments coming in there, guys, by the way. And please, anything we're going to talk about here, leave a comment, have your say. We are Ireland's most interactive football podcast. Well, we like to think so anyway. If you're watching there on Facebook and YouTube. Right. Well, we don't have Nick, so I suppose I'm going to have to do the honors again, aren't I, with our boys in green. We still don't have any music. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, sorry. Shoddy. It is shoddy, isn't it? It's very shoddy. But here is an episode. Here is our latest installment of The Boys in Green, which was put together by Nick. So any factual inaccuracies, you can blame Nick on that. And he's not here anyway. So, right. Jamie McGrath with a goal for Dundee United in a 2-1 win over Motherwell. Kieran Clark, God, goal for Sheffield United in a 4-1 win over Cardiff. Yeah, not much of a kind of Medalla there, Martin, was there?
No, I don't think he was in the squad at all. It must be injured. Didn't really look at it, but yeah, they're in trouble. They're looking at they could easily go down.
Oh, pity. Jason Malumbi brace for West Bromwich Albion in a 2-1 win versus Stoke. He was supposed to be out injured, wasn't he, for ages? And then he comes back and scores a brace.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic, yeah.
We did have a request to talk about him, actually. We might as well do it since we're on it from one of our listeners. Thank you very much, by the way, for your input. Do you think, the question was, do we think Jason Malumbi can play at a higher level than the Championship?
I think he possibly can. It depends on obviously if West Brom are going to go up or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would he be the first person that I'd be looking to buy? Still quite young, isn't he? I think if you look at, last week you ruthlessly ruled off any chance of success for Josh Cullen in the Premier League, and still not having that. Bit worrying actually. Burnley, Obafemi wasn't part of the squad at all, so he does need to get some game time now. And I know they're trying to push to beat Reading's record-breaking points total, and they're still not technically classed as champions yet, because they still need points. But they drew dismally 0-0 yesterday. So I think, I think Malumbi, though, is back to the original thing. Bit
of a tangent there, Martin. Come on.
Yeah, but he does have to go up, and I think I'd rather him play more regularly all the time and be the first name on the team sheet, as Josh Cullen is at Burnley, rather than perhaps get a move and then just be in the bench for a team in the Premier League.
Well, currently West Brom, that's what I was checking on my phone. I was quite rude there. West Brom are very rude, I know. Well, I am in London. That's kind of what you do. They are 11th in the Championship at the moment, one game in hand, and they are 3 points off the 6th spot, which Blackburn are in as well. So a lot of Irish interest, actually, the top of the table there. Burnley and Sheffield United and Millwall and Blackburn. So, yeah. But I personally think Malumbi could. He does seem to have, he's a bit of an all-rounder. He's aggressive. He's fast. He's skillful. He likes goals. He can score goals. Yeah, I like him. He's got a nasty side to him. I think he has a future. Maybe not at a top Premier League team, but he would do really well. Maybe at a not the current Burnley team, but like a Burnley under Dyche or somebody like that. There's a real aggression about him, but he's also he can play a bit as well. So I think he can, and I think he'd actually make more of an impact on the team than Josh Cullen would. There you go. Yeah. Moving on. Ryan Manning, Stephen Kenny's favourite left back. He got a goal for Swansea in a 1-0 win over Patrick Stewart's Huddersfield Town. Dennis Kirkin was sent off for Sunderland. The 2-0 win against Birmingham. Really must fire that typist. Dave McGoldrick with another goal. I believe it's 22nd of the season for Derby in a 1-1 with Bristol Rovers. Promise on Cherry got a goal for Fleetwood. Crack, Jesus Christ. That's Nick's attempt at humour in a 5-2 win against Accrington Stanley. Uday. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he actually, the little kid that played that, I think he ended up in jail, didn't he?
Oh, Jesus.
He actually did. Yeah, check it out. If you're watching there, guys, check it out. The little kid was popped up in my thing. I don't know why he popped up on the internet. Luke O'Connell, remember him? 2 assists for Barnsley in a 5-2 win over Forest Green Rovers. Danny Mandrew, 2 assists for Lincoln City in a 3-2 win over Port Vale. And that wraps up your boys in green. Not really great deal to talk about.
We did speak about McGoldrick last week. Again, Irish fans jumped on the post when we were talking about this week on the social media channels about him, and we're glorifying failure. He's mediocre and stuff. And I'm not the biggest Dave McGoldrick fan. I think I've said it in the past. I think a great player and stuff, but I didn't see that we were going to miss him as much as perhaps we thought we were. And people actually think if you look back at his record with Ireland, it wasn't fantastic, and it's a bit of a myth that how good he was. He was a different type of player for us. I mean, I've seen someone actually said, well, he should have gone to the Euros 2016 and instead of Daryl Murphy. And yeah, I could kind of see the point there. But Dave McGoldrick wasn't the Dave McGoldrick of 2016 that at that time he wasn't what he is now.
That's a good thing, because he was shit in 2016.
Yeah, but exactly. But I'm just saying. So you weren't going to bring him 2016, were you? because he
No.
wasn't as a form player then. But
No.
and I don't think he actually. I mean, look, he probably had a better career than Daryl Murphy overall for Ireland if you're comparing them. But you're not comparing an awful lot. And to be honest, and that sounds quite harsh, but
Yeah.
that was the big man stuff up front and knocking it down and things like that.
I think with David McGoldrick, I'm gonna move on. He held the play very well. It suited Mick's style of football.
Yeah.
And he was very good in that campaign. I thought he got the one goal against Switzerland. I think he only got one goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was very important goal as an equaliser in Lansing. I was about to say the A word. He suited it, but it was never going to be a long-standing. He's a bit of a cult hero, I would say. Bit of a cult hero.
Yeah, but on the back of not much achieving much, to be honest, in an Ireland shirt. And I think
no.
That's one thing. I think one other point though on our big things just to mention as well.
Big.
Omo Bamidele is captain of Norwich now, it seems. Which
he
again,
is.
We have got
they lost.
We've got so many captains that but he's 21. It's ridiculous. Like we're trusting our young players.
Yeah.
And they all seem to just have this natural kind of leadership attitude with them, basically, and that's fantastic for us. We're going to have people in it. Our future Irish teams are going to benefit from that. Darragh O'Shea's a captain, Seamus Coleman, of course, John Egan. There can't be a lot of international teams with captains as
Irish
many
players.
As
Irish players do tend to make great captains. All through the years, it's a thing. But that's the good side of it. But the bad side of it, I was just checking there. Very rude again on my phone. But Nathan Collins not playing again in a 2-0 win over Brentford. That's worrying now, isn't it? This is a recurring theme here. He's not getting any game time.
Yeah, be interesting though on that. I wonder, you'd hope there's some kind of clause there that he can get out of there as well. Again, a bit worrying as well. Matt Doherty's not getting out any looking in Spain, and it's an awful. It turned out to be an awful move, and that he'd probably be a free agent at the end of the summer.
I think he will. And one last one, Gavin Bazunu. Of course, Southampton, they look destined for the Premier League. See, Ewan McGregor, he's sort of like a newer version of Eamon Dunphy a little bit. He was slagging off Gavin Bazunu, saying he was shit, basically, on Twitter. Do you think... Which I think is harsh, because obviously Southampton are going to be relegated. They're going down, let's be honest. I don't think a season in the Championship would be too bad for Gavin Bazunu. Do you think we've overrated him a little bit? He hasn't had a great season. He's had a poor defence in front of him, and he's also, he has made some mistakes as well. He is only, he's 20, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very young goalkeeper, and he's in a team... The move, he got fast-tracked, basically, didn't he? Because City wasn't going to get a look in there.
League One... to the Premier League.
Yeah, I think he's done very well in considering that they're absolutely horrendous, and he's being tested, and he's going to make mistakes as well. If you're tested that much, he's going to be tested, under pressure. But I think his distribution is very, very good. He's been good for Ireland overall. He's playing regularly out of our goal. That's the key for him. That's probably key. I think if Kelleher had got a move and was playing week in, week out, there's an argument then, isn't there, that Kelleher, who's the better of the two and who should be number one. But at the moment, Kelleher's not getting a look in. He's got a big summer as well. He's got to make a decision to get out of Liverpool and pick that right club that he's going to get there and get regular game time. And I kind of see the trajectory of Bazunu a little bit like Kasper Schmeichel years ago. Played a lot of games underage, different moves around different clubs, and it took him a while then to get settled. But I mean, he was under a lot of pressure as well, and he showed his class overall. And I think Bazunu will go on and do that, and I think he might have to get a move. There's no harm if he goes to the Championship at all.
No, I think a season in the Championship for Bazunu would do him actually the world of good, to be honest. Right, we're going to move it on. We're going to move it a little bit on to the girls in green from the boys in green. 1-0 loss in America. Very unlucky, actually. Basically 1-0 loss brings to the end of their 2-game series. I didn't get to see the game. You stayed up and watched them, Martin?
I did stay up and watch it. Yeah, very entertaining game. Brilliant again to see the girls again. Vera Powell experiment with her team. Strange one as well. I think I referred to it on a previous podcast. How some of our stronger players get moved around at the end. We were going for it. Louise Quinn went up front. I think that's crazy that you think of. It reminded me a little bit like when Dion Dublin used to get put up front when they were chasing the goal when he was at Villa and things. And you know that you can do that with your centre half and even Quinny, I suppose his namesake in a sense. But you know, they played well. I thought Katie McCabe, to be honest, looked very tired, very lethargic, made a lot of errors which are not like her. But yeah, some really good promising performances there. And yeah, very unfortunate goal that we conceded. But yeah, look, the future's bright. And again, we're playing the number one team in world football in the women's game. And we lost 2-0 and we're very creative in that game. And then we lost 1-0 the other day. And so they're getting better. They're playing better opposition, bringing in players, have used the squad, integrated players to the squad. I wouldn't like to be Vera Powell now, how she goes on and picks these next two squads, because the next one they're playing Zambia in June on the Thursday, the 22nd. And the week after, then they're playing France. But in between the games, she will be picking her World Cup squad, and she's going to have to disappoint a lot of the girls who, I think, even the ones who got us there, some of them will miss out.
Got to be ruthless, though. Well, as you say, the future is bright. The future is white, and that sounds like a dodgy statement, but what I mean is the jersey. New Ireland away shirt was released during the week. They've gone back to the white one. None of this orange. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I'd like to see the
with orange shirt.
Yeah. I like it. I think it's all right. You know, it's a bit. I thought it was going to be the horizontal linings, because you could see that from kind of the leaked images that were going to be happening. And people are saying, "Oh, it's just the away version of the home shirt." I don't know what people are looking at. The stripes are completely different way around, so that's not right.
Crafty at the store, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I'd like to see it up in the flesh again, but you know, we were talking about it on our excellent preview show for KitCon with Paul. We were chatting about the shirts, the quality of them, and things, and how we need to look after them and things. So, very interesting. But yeah, look, it's a little bit safe, and yeah, I think I joked about it, didn't I? A little thing of the first thing I did was research our horizontal stripes slimming, because it's not going to favour a lot of our Irish demographic fans, I think, the wider kind of.
No, yeah, they seem to have gone with the old school, haven't they, where they just invert the home jersey, well, and the stripes as well. It's nicer than I prefer the white jersey anyway. I've always preferred the white one to the green one. My very first Ireland jersey was the white one. It was actually. You can't really see on that, but it's the one that Steve Staunton's wearing. If you're watching this, just over the white Italian 91, gorgeous. That was my first ever Ireland top. I love the white shirt. It is better. That will be available soon enough anyway. €85 or £100, whatever it is. But I'm going to segue into you can get your very own Green Machine shirt, lads. £40 and €45, free delivery anywhere. That's on the shop. That's the greenmachinepodcast.com/shop. Do you like the way I say shop? Martin?
Yeah,
shop.
I like
shop.
it, and it's been It's been very well supported, to be honest, and we've had great feedback. People have loved the quality of it, and it is a lovely jersey. To be fair, and I'm just disappointed. I didn't mention there in the coverage of the women's game, George Hamilton. I did tweet during the game and said, "I'll give us a shout out, George, to Risk London," and fair play to him. After half time, he did say he had the pleasure of meeting me and you, Dave, didn't he? We had a great little chat with George before and he said he had the pleasure of meeting Risk London. He can't wait to come back to us, and he actually said it on the coverage the other day, which was very proud moment, and it was worth staying up for, to be honest.
What a gentleman! What a gentleman! Yeah. Actually, having dinner with George Hamilton and shooting the shit with him, and actually asked him some questions I really always wanted to ask him, and he answered them.
Yeah,
but they were. It was a private conversation, so I can't say it on here. You were privy to that as well. But now, what a lovely fella. Unfortunately, came over during COVID, and you guys are going to get him back over again at the Risk London. But now, what a lovely fella. He's just the same in person as he is on the telly, isn't he? Like, even the way he speaks, he's so precise. Yeah. He's amazing. He's a great guy. Right. After all of that, now we're going to get to the meat. We're going to get to the big topic of the week, and that is the Euro 2028 bid, the Ireland and UK bid. If you're watching, you want to have your say on this, lash your comments in. By the way, there's a lot of comments coming in. Thank you very much for those. We will get to those as soon as we can, but we're going to talk about that. And I just actually seen one of the comments. Hold on a second.
Jesus Christ.
There you go, Daryl. So if you have any more comments on what we're going to talk about, lash them in and we'll get to those
Send
accordingly.
them to Mr. T there.
To Mr. T, yeah. Just don't come at me with a magnet. Right, so it was announced during the week that the Republic of Ireland will be part of a UK and Ireland bid to host the European Championships, Euro 2028. There we are. Seamus Coleman there looking delighted with the ball next to Harry Kane, Andy Robertson, some Welsh fella, and some fella plays for Northern Ireland. I really should have researched that one better.
Aaron Ramsey, isn't it? Aaron Ramsey?
Oh, I don't care.
Wales?
I don't care. Because I don't care about any of it anyway. Just in case you're wondering, here's the Northern Ireland one. So yeah, they kind of just do that. Yeah.
Oh,
so and you do that with the Welsh bloke in Wales and so on and so forth. So it comprises of 10 stadiums. There's the list. This is from Sky, so you can see we'll start from top to the bottom. Glasgow will be Hampden Park, nice ground. It was there last November. Newcastle St James's Park, another very nice ground actually. I was there for my 30th. Liverpool, the Everton Stadium in Liverpool. So that's whatever that won't be good as soon. It won't be Anfield. The Etihad in Manchester, Villa Park in Birmingham. I've been there. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Wembley Stadium will host the final, I'd imagine. The Principality Stadium in Cardiff, that's the Millennium Stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in Birmingham, you've got Villa Park. I've been in most of those, actually. And then you go to Ireland. Northern Ireland is represented with the yet-to-be-built Casement Park in Belfast. That's going to be interesting. And the Lansdowne Road, or be called the Dublin Arena, but Lansdowne Road for Dublin. That is your 10 stadiums. Right. So we'll get into it, Martin. I have a feeling we're not going to quite agree on this one. Are you happy that this is going ahead? I'm sorry to cut you off. They are in competition with... No, sorry. They're in competition with Turkey, who are the only other bid, but apparently they have a shitload of stadiums that they haven't built yet. But anyway, back to the original question. Are you happy this is going ahead?
Yeah, and this will happen. This is... I don't know what a betting is on it, if there is anything betting on it, but this is going to happen. They're going to get it. I was on a call with the FAI delegation and the Welsh delegation where they announced that they were going to be doing the bid. I suspect, obviously, the delay a little bit with it coming out now is obviously we were waiting for the new Irish badge because they're going to obviously be putting everything into this. The fact is, these associations have got the stadiums built, or they've got the infrastructure within their respective countries, most of them anyway. I know we'll argue about the Irish situation, but this could happen apart from the ones that aren't built, let's be honest, okay? But if it was Anfield, for example, in Liverpool instead, this tournament could happen in 2 months' time. They could host it. It could just happen. So it's ready to happen, and they've just obviously... this country and Ireland and the UK can put on tournaments. They're used to experiencing and managing big events. Wembley Stadium will probably going to get the semi-finals and the final, I would guess, because they're the bigger stadium and they're going to be able to organise it. That's why Tottenham's got it as well. I mean, you're not supposed to have two capitals having two
stadiums in one city.
But they've obviously allowing Tottenham to kind of host it, and it's a fantastic stadium, not far from me.
It is.
Now, so as I said, the infrastructure's there. They're going to get it because they're going to sell out these stadiums, and they will put on a fantastic show, and it will bring money in to UEFA, and that's what they have been selling this on the back of. That they can put this on now, these associations, and host it very safely, bring fans in, hotels are there. Infrastructure's there, travel. All those cities have got major airports, and that's why they'll do it. Now, Ireland, as I said at the time, I think we debated in the past, why are Ireland getting involved? This is the only way Ireland are going to be able to host a tournament like this. So we've got to jump on the back of it, and we've got to take the good points of it. And we were the only country who gave up our Euro 2020, was it?
Yeah. 2020, Euro 2020, but obviously held in 2020.
Yeah.
Right. So this is what our esteemed leader Varadkar had to say about it. Happy the government has agreed to support the Ireland and UK joint bid for Euro UEFA 2028. This tournament represents a huge opportunity for Ireland to welcome Europe and the world tour are sure to display our world-class facilities and to host an event that benefits all. And he has the picture there for our audio listeners of the players in the UK and Ireland bid. And then the second one to that, on that thread, I suppose, from Leah Radker, it is also an opportunity to ensure long-lasting benefits for League of Ireland, local and youth football. I am particularly pleased that the collaborative effort on this bid has worked well and has served to strengthen ties with our partners north, south, and east and west. Going to benefit League of Ireland football. How?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Only that it's going to bring money into the game and to the FAI, and then hopefully there'll be something that will filter down. And you could argue that more interest in the game, promotion of the game, will have youngsters getting involved, wanting to be part of it, and then that brings money in.
Basically. See, I knew you were going to say
things like that.
I knew you're going to say that, and that's going to be the argument. That's going to be the thing coming down from this. Oh, but it's going to encourage people to play football, and in Ireland, people are already playing football in Ireland, though, Martin, aren't they? They're already playing football. The problem with football in Ireland, in terms of like the League of Ireland, there is a customer base, there is a groundswell to play football. There's just nowhere for them to fucking watch it in decent enough shops. You know, that's been the issue, hasn't it? And this is my problem with all this. I mean, the hyperbolic nature of this, world-class facilities. We've one stadium, by the way, the Lansing Road, or the Aviva, whatever, is probably one of the nicest stadiums I've been in. Genuinely, it's a lovely stadium. It is a beautiful stadium, and it's 13 years old.
You got your lanyards, all right.
I would have had him anyway. Right, it's a beautiful stadium. But world-class facilities, what the fuck is he talking about? World-class facilities, one stadium and a 16A into town from the airport. We don't even have a railway station at the airport. We have poor transport, although the transport in Dublin has, much to my surprise, has been sliced. It's like €2 for a 90-minute travel around Dublin. That's really good. Won't be much good when you're stuck in traffic jams at 4 o'clock on a Friday evening going through Santry. No, I don't like this because, you see, Irish football, League of Ireland football is so far behind. It's so far behind. I was reading the Roddy Collins and I was reading Pat Dolan. Now, I'm not a savant of the League of Ireland. I would never claim to be, right? And I'm not being cheeky. Neither are you, right? We don't watch the League of Ireland. We don't. But I read some of the articles, Roddy Collins and Pat Dolan, they're very much involved in the domestic game in Ireland. And they've been writing articles before this was announced about how Tolka Park has stadiums with, when it rains, it pisses down. I think Derry City fans had travelled to Dublin for a game and they got absolutely drenched because it was a leak or they had no cover at Dalymount Park or Tolka Park, this kind of stuff. And it just annoys me because these stadiums need money. The league needs concentration, it needs money. It's cooking on the pitch. They're selling out games. It's cooking. The League of Ireland's alive. The problem is that the facilities off the pitch are shit and around the pitch are shit. The football's good, but the facilities are terrible. And I don't see how this is going to benefit the League of Ireland. Legacy for people playing football. People are already playing football. It's the most popular sport in the island.
Yeah, but I think you just have to look at it that, the government are under an awful lot amount of pressure from, for example, Roy Barrett's just walked out the door of the FAI and he's saying why aren't the government putting more money in where they're putting it into horse racing and
the tax.
greyhound racing, the tax situation with that, and that's probably why, look, it's going to be very political and what Varadkar's saying. But at the same time, if there's a movement and there's going to be hosting a tournament, you kind of want to get your house in order because you're showing yourself off to the world and Europe.
Yeah, but
we're going to have a credible. No, I know that, but still, you want to be able to put on a good show. And I know it's one city that we're showing off, but it should all filter down eventually money into it and the infrastructure. And you're thinking UEFA have got millions and billions of pounds from these tournaments, and it should share the wealth a little bit. Like, it is worth having the tournament on your shores. It's not a case of costing. Like, if we're not part of it, what then?
I get that,
across the water and you're seeing. Like,
do you want to see?
No one's investing. UEFA aren't going to invest any more money in without getting something from Ireland.
But look, right. I mean, the Irish government, right, especially with Fine Gael, right, when it comes to this sort of stuff, Fine Gael and Norm is the kind of the more middle class, upper class, professional sort of party. A bit like the Tories, right? You read that there. Our world class facilities. Like, that's the sort of shit that I can't stand, because it's just papering over the cracks. You know, the legacy for League of Ireland football, if they were using Dalymount Park, for example, just for example, I know they can't. It's wedged in Cabra Park. I used to live right across the road from it, actually. You know, you can't really get any bigger. If they were to redevelop a couple of League of Ireland stadiums to host the tournament, then I'd get it. I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, that's fantastic. Or one of the state, but no, it's a stadium that's already built, and that's it. It's just one ground. There's no world class. It's one ground that's already built. And this government, if they really cared about football, and it's official Ireland, then, you know, the tax obviously go. So just to explain to anybody who's maybe watching outside of Ireland, so with the betting shop, the tax paid by betting shops goes back into greyhound racing, goes back into horse racing, because predominantly in the 80s and 90s, all the revenue generated from betting shops was generated by horse racing, greyhound racing. But now football's probably as popular now. People are doing it online, Bet365, all these kind of things. And people are saying, rightly so, that it's 2023. A lot more money needs to be going into football, because people are betting on football. If that's the mechanism you want to use. Now, I know you're a racing fan, Martin, but this is what I'm talking about. This should already be in motion. There's enough evidence there for that, but they're so antiquated. Nothing's going to change. And it doesn't matter if they host this tournament, nothing will change. The attitude, and so I'll let you come in, sorry. The attitude by the government will not change towards football.
No, but that's what has to happen from the betting levies. That has to happen. Like, I think racing's in quite a good place in Ireland anyway. Horse racing, greyhound racing, that's a separate argument. The interest in there, I don't know enough about it, but there's not enough. I don't think there's enough interest in that to warrant the money they get invested from the government.
But it's just
that's
the way
been
it's
a big argument.
It's
just the way it's been, and that has to all be unpicked. Now, again, you'll have some people say, well, it's wrong that we're actually looking at the money from gambling as the government investing that into sport, but that's what has to happen. Like, otherwise, it's the bookies getting the money and keeping it. Like that's why we have the tax situation with it. So, whether you like gambling or not, I think Ireland football should be getting a bigger slice of the pie of the tax from it, right? And that's what Roy Barrett's argument was recently, and he's really made that very, very sensibly.
And he's right.
Approach. And I know there is an argument of the uncomfortableness with having betting associated and impressionable young people and stuff.
Going to be banned from sponsoring Premier League clubs, I think, from 2024.
Without doubt, it should happen.
Yeah.
Without doubt,
of course, yeah.
Happen. But you know, there's going to be other ways around it. But of them to do sponsorship or some deals or things. But that's just going to be the thing. I think, though. Look, we know that the League of Ireland needs massive investment. We know that, and I think the FAI know that as well. And I think that's why they've done the rebrand of the FA Ireland, and then you've got Football Ireland for the international teams in a sense. They know they have to sort that out. It's going to be a long time of change. We know that. But I think we have to start somewhere. And I think, again, we would be very rueful looking back after 2028, after a really good tournament, that we weren't part of it, because you will never get an opportunity to host it again. So we might as well be in the tent, pissing out of it and looking out.
But I don't see how
there will be money coming. There will have to be money from it. And again, but we could argue this all day, Dave. Like, the thing about this is, right, the money that should have been in it. Well, look, it's not going to be any breaking news to anybody. It's criminal, as we know, that the money that 1990 brought in, 88, the interest we had in 94, it was the most popular game, most popular sport. Yeah, I know we can argue it still is.
It has been for years.
But the money and the commercialism of football now should be more like, it should be filtering down. It should be massive in Ireland. That's what how we've been wasteful and rueful of. And the League of Ireland's always been the problem child. I know that's an analogy that Delaney hated, but it is a separate commercial entity in a sense, because we're not overly reliant on I know everyone wants it to be how we get our players, and we should keep our players in the League of Ireland, and then they're going to come through and but it's not strong enough at the moment as a industry to do so, and you need investment. And sadly, it's been neglected for years. The stadiums have been neglected for years,
but it is
people
cooking.
are at the success. Yeah, it's cooking, and that's in spite of the lack of investment from the government and the lack of infrastructure and things like that. But fair play to people who are going out and spending the money on it now. And I just hope the money coming in. Like, there's we've spoken to lots of people. Spoke to really interesting people about, you know, what they're doing at clubs and how it is changing in the coaching structure. We are a very, very well organized association with our coaching, and
yeah, but
I
it
think
doesn't.
you
But
have to give things a chance.
I know, but I just don't see how it's going to change. You know, and we'll move off this because, you know,
They're going to bring money in now, aren't they?
Will that? I mean, we don't know the structure. It will always bring money in, of course it will. But it's just I just think they're paping over the cracks. They're going to use this for political gains. You know, fair enough. But it's just when you see that nonsense, world-class facilities, and I think it's going to be an opportunity for the FAI to sort of paper over cracks as well.
That is nonsense. World-class facilities. It's not as if a new stadium's being built.
Exactly.
That's when you argue it, right? But at the same time, I think the question has to be to Varadkar and to the FAI.
Last word on it. The last word on it.
Right?
Go on.
Yeah, is how much? What is the? I mean, probably someone's written this up already. What is the tournament worth for UEFA, and what are Ireland getting from it? And that's what we want to know. Is this going to clear the debt of the FAI? It will be. Sure, it must do. It's got to.
If it generates,
why they're doing it.
If it generates enough money, if that's the case, by the way, and they do, and we'll finish up on this part of it, and they do, fantastic, clears the debt, and then allows them to put more money to grassroots, etc., and then invest into the League of Ireland. Because I think the League of Ireland, really, as I said, it is cooking, ratings are going up, matches are selling out, the football is actually of a decent standard. It's just when you're watching it on the telly and you see Mr. Whippy in the background, it looks a bit shit. You know, it's that sort of stuff, but it's getting there. It is starting to come along.
That's Ireland. We're not going to get rid of Mr. Whippy, sadly, because that's part of our
I'm not trying to put
I know
Mr.
that,
Whippy
but that's
out
what I'm saying. Even if you look at the GAA, and I know this will really upset your day bringing the GAA. They stopped the lads going on the pitches now, don't they? The kids used to be sitting around the pitches going on at half time. They stopped that. Now, a lot of GAA enthusiasts would go, "Oh, why are we stopping that? It's part of our culture growing up." And they're the lads who'll be on the pitch in years to come, and people will be supporting. No. It's that, but that's Irish sport.
But no, my point is, it looks terrible on the camera. Like that like there should be vendors, but they should be in a stand or behind. Yeah, it just needs to be professional.
Not the lad who's not that you're going to upset every ice cream vendor. I
love the ice cream, man.
You don't want Mr. Whippy earning a few quid off the back of the League of Ireland.
Not at all.
You want commercial. You want Ben and Jerry's.
I was his best customer.
Commercial.
I was his best customer, Mr. Whippy, when I was growing up. That's why I was so fat. Anyway.
Do you know what I think we need now in the back of this, because you've gone commercial? I think you need to flash up the shirt again.
You tart. There you go. Look, speaking of commercialism, there's the shirt, greenmachinepodcast.com/shop. And you can also get some badges there. It's all on there.
The badges are lovely.
The badges are
I've modelling the badge. I'm actually modeling the badge if you look on. Yeah, it's very nice. That's a very, lovely very nice. Collaboration.
Excellent quality. Right. Just to finish up, actually, on that, as you can see there with Casement Park, see the unionists are giving out again. I mean, they give out about everything, don't they? They're moaning about that because Windsor Park holds 18,000 and you need to have 30,000 minimum. And Casement Park, I think they've been trying to build it for the last like 14 years or something. And it just keeps getting rejected. But the irony is that and probably by 2028, Stormont will still be in deadlock. British government will just build it. They'll just throw loads of money on it. They can't do shit about it.
Yeah,
I just think that's funny. Right, we're going to move it on to Social Media Watch. And actually comment. No, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to get into the comments first. And then the Social Media Watch. I really should have timed that better. There you go. Look at that. Just pretend there's music. Right. So let's have a look at some of your comments there. Some very nice comments. Some not so nice comments. FAI channel. Hello, guys. Hello, FAI channel. I haven't seen you on here before. Thank you for... did I see you last week? If not, thank you for watching on a YouTube channel. John Griffin, positivity with a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Darrell O'Connor, story lads. What's the crack from FAI channel? And Darrell O'Connor says about our lovely shirt and badge collection. Got to pick them up for defo. Yeah, you do, Darrell.
They are selling out.
They are selling out. Yeah. I should have actually. I'm raging. I actually had a few. I had a few pictures on here from last night. I took them off because I was running out of. Oh bugger! Never mind. I'm thinking out loud. But the episode that never made it to kick on. Never mind. Right. Darrell O'Connor, I prefer the away to the home. Bugs very underwhelming, to be honest. Hard to get on board with Castore, but still, but like Martin, I'll be buying them all anyway. Are you going to be buying them, Martin?
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, collect all the shirts. Yep. I'm quite sad enough that I'll buy them, and I'll buy 2 or 3 for my son because he wears them. But sometimes if I really like a shirt, which I'm going to throw this one up there, I love this. I think this is a beautiful shirt. The goalkeeper one, Bazunu. Obviously, this is on the back of the last one of Umbro. I love this shirt, and you can't get it. They didn't bring out many of them, but I've actually got it on a hanger because I've took it out of his drawer because I don't really want him wearing it. I want to kind of keep that in good condition. That's very ruthless, isn't it, Dave?
That is very ruthless. Child, never mind. Darrell O'Connor, Magister, he reckons we should sell this picture of Mick, which is on to my left for our audio listeners. Probably should actually. I'm gonna get that autographed. You know,
that is by the bed every night. That one.
Yeah, kiss it every night. Darren O'Grady, the show is shite without Nick, lads. I believe that is actually Nick. Darrell O'Connor, have to say, Malumbi going to be a big player for us going forward. Also an advantage when he kicks the shit out of opposition. Standout game for me was versus Scotland. Yeah, he's excellent. He's an excellent player. And FEI channel, the official channel for old Irish football content on YouTube. Yes, it is. It's actually, I know the one now. It's actually, it's very good to have loads of old clips on there. Give them a shout. And give us a shout as well if you're watching us for the first time. Give us a little subscribe. Press the subscribe button. That's what I mean to say. Jesus. Martin Fitzpatrick. Rocco Vata played for Celtic today. He could declare for 4 different countries. Yeah, I think he played 4 times now for Celtic, hasn't he? There were 4. I think we're 4-0 up at half time today. Nick Menzies. Jesus. Ian McGregor is a Jedi, Dave.
I didn't want to say anything, Nick.
McKenna.
Okay, now.
Why did you say anything, you bastards?
I was letting you.
No, you didn't. You didn't know.
I did know.
I didn't know.
You could barely say. Sorry, who's the Ireland's number 20?
Darrell O'Connor. Girls are very lucky to be America. Played very well. No shame listening to the best. Absolutely not. And Kieran Boyle. How are you doing, Kieran? Over in sunny Florida. The away shirt is shite. Castori is shite. The logo is shite. The badge is shite. Look at Rover's centenary badge. That's how you do it. Never mind. Hashtag away to Jays with Castori. With this Castori shite. Hashtag back to bleed Adidas. I agree with you there, Kieran. Spot on as always, mate.
I do like the Rovers badge, to be honest. I did think that was good, and I know Nick is a massive fan of it. The Shamrock Rovers stuff.
Nick loves Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, I don't know why he private messaged me that, but like, just let everyone know, Nick. Don't be afraid to tweet that.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up and he had about 4 different pictures of it. I was like, Jesus, Nick, it's a bit early, 4 a.m. Obviously, you know how to had a few. Darrell O'Connor, I heard the shout out from George Top Class. Yeah, he's a lovely man, George Hampton, a complete legend. And Darrell did ask me earlier on about not having a GM, the lanyard. I did. I had to take him off, actually. Sort my neck. FEI channel on the Euros. Need to get Croke Park. Well, obviously, it's a 2. Other than London, you can't have 2 stadiums.
Losing you there a bit, Dave.
Oh, I'm back.
Your screen's seized, which is good. Oh, look, leave me doing the show. I don't mind. Right, we do have a problem there with Dave. But yeah, look, Croke Park. The reason that Croke Park's not obviously selected as one of the host stadiums is obviously because the Aviva, or it will be called the Dublin Arena, will be the one that will be charged with setting the tone for the Euro finals. And I think actually UEFA have actually awarded the Europa League final next year actually for a tournament as well. So for the final of that competition. So that'll be quite good as well. We do seem to have a problem with Dave, and so I'll be hosting it for the time being on my own until hopefully Dave will join back in and take charge again. But I've been following obviously the women's game, as I mentioned earlier, and noticed the George Hamilton comment. Yeah, it was brilliant to see that, Daryl. George is a big fan of the London Supporters Club. We did have him over a few months ago, and it was in COVID, but yeah, really good. Great. And we are planning to get him back. And on that topic as well, I'll just mention that Risk London, we're hosting our club meeting on Friday, where we have Keith Andrews coming over, which is going to be quite interesting. So if anyone wants to put any questions to Keith Andrews, it's at Friday night on the 21st of April at the Cladder Ring in Northwest London, Hendon. And yeah, if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask of Keith Andrews, keep him nice, keep him clean. But yeah, we're going to be doing a Q&A with him with Risk London. All our members are coming down to it. It is open door policy. So it's upstairs in the Cladder Ring, nice private room. Hopefully he'll be honest and let us know all the insight into the ongoings of the FAI. The future development of some of our players. I know that he was very disappointed seeing Evan Ferguson get injured for Brighton the other day, and it's looking likely that he's going to miss the semi-final of the FA Cup next week. So that's not a great bit of news for us. But yeah, that's where we're looking for going forward. So yeah, we've got Keith Andrews coming over, and there's also an event in next Thursday in Manchester at the Bolton Football Museum in England, where John O'Shea is going to be at it, and John Walters and Neve Fahy. There's tickets available again for that. We'll put up on our social channels the links for that, where we'll be able to, people are able to go. They're doing a book launch. It's away days. It's 30 years of the Premier League, basically, and Irish players. So some fantastic stories. It's a book by Gareth Maher, who does a lot of the media work with Vera Powell and the women's team. So it's worth listening to. Get along to that if you can. Meet the players. Should be quite a good night. And that tickets are completely free to that, and you get to go to the museum as well. So anyone based in the northwest of England who can travel to Manchester or Bolton, basically, which is within Manchester, get along to that. That's another interesting thing to kind of focus on. We have also mentioned previously that in here he is. He's Dave's back. I've been holding the fort here, Dave.
Sorry about that, chaps. I don't know actually what happened there. But
can you just shut up for a minute? I'm still chatting.
Was it you to kick me out, Martin? Was it? Because I fucking battered you in that argument.
Host. But I was just saying about all the events that are coming up. I said about Keith Andrews, and also the Embassy of Ireland are doing an event in Manchester. So we'll be putting out on our social channels the links there. There it is. Lovely. Finally, he's back in the building. But yeah, that's at the Cladder Ring this Friday. So looking forward to meeting Keith Andrews and having a chat with him. We'll get a lot of insight from him as well, because quite hard hitting with the questions. Some of our Risk London members do not mind, going for the guests, basically. And but we will be very careful of what we kind of reveal on the night and stuff. So that's just a few interesting things coming on. And I know we will be focusing now, Dave, very shortly. I know you might go through comments again, but the one thing I didn't get to cover there, Dave, was the James McClean stuff.
Oh, yep, don't worry. We'll get to that in a second. We'll finish up going through the comments, and I don't know how. I really don't know what happened there. I just got kicked out. Fucking StreamYard. That was it, wasn't it? The GAA kicked me out.
That's it. Croke Park upset you, Dave.
They did. Basically, Croke Park. They can't have two stadiums in the one city other than London, and also Croke Park's it'd be 75,000, 72,000, I think, when you have all the seats put in. Croke Park's a nice stadium, but it's quite old now, isn't it? It's about 30 years old. It does need a bit of. I don't think it would meet a lot of UEFA.
It's a bit TLC, and again,
it does,
it's the seating at the end, and also the timing of the tournament will be in GAA season, basically.
Exactly, it's not going to happen. Nick, again, great day. Kick on today. Big shout out to Connor and Johnny from Boys We've Seen. Aidan from Football History Walk. All right, Nick. This is our
Nick.
Jesus Christ,
football friends.
Yeah,
kick on friends.
Kick on friends. Yeah, fucking Luke from Kit Launch, Niall from Calcio Culture Club, Barry from Irish Football Museum, and Rob Duggan. Actually, no, a big shout out to Rob, who is a very happy recipient of the Irish football shirt. The Green Machine shirt, which you can buy from greenmachinepodcast.com/shop. Shopper. You should have called it shop, but that's shop in Irish, Martin, in case you're wondering. Kieran Boyle again. Doubt the bid will be successful. I'm hearing you UEFA want ground broken on Casement Park by June 2024, which the way the North is will not happen. Croker might have to be on standby for the bid. Might be, but I mean, to be fair, I think they could just kick Northern Ireland out of it, and there's a host of stadiums they could use on mainland Britain or Daryl O'Connor again. Apparently, the Nordies and their supporters groups are giving out about Casement holding it. Too feeding for them. Possibly. Windsor Park is only 18,000. Nowhere near enough. It is tiny. I've never been to Windsor Park. It is wedged inside a housing estate, though. And they were given, I was reading some of the comments, I don't know how true it is, Martin, but they were given a fortune to expand it, and they only went with 18,000. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think on that, I think at the time of the bid, which I was fortunate enough to hear kind of different association people, including Noel Mooney from Wales,
Hey, good
he's actually ours. It was interesting chatting about that, and the question was asked about, the North and what they would do, and they didn't have a stadium to size that UEFA would need. And I think a lot of people's views were, they could cleverly do this, that they don't actually host a game, but it would be, because some of these games are going to be small demand, basically, they possibly, or that you just put in one of the big teams over there in Ireland and they have it as a kind of training camp area, and that's going to satisfy the North. That they use it as a training ground or pre-tournament kind of setup.
Nothing satisfies them, to be honest. Daryl O'Connor again. We don't even get automatic qualification. Top 2 out of the 5, I think I heard, do, which is England and Wales. Yeah, doubt very strong. I don't know the word, unless you're going to tell us something there, Martin. Or
this was question asked as well, and I think this is going to be something that will be debatable as well. But I think I would guess the tournament will be larger. They'll reset something again, and they'll try and get as many of the host associations involved some way as part of it.
No, fair enough. FAI channel need much more investment in League of Ireland. Yep, 100%. It's doing really well on the pitch. Football's good. Duffer and Shelburne, really good. Sellout games. It is back. It is coming back. It just needs the facilities, and you really need facilities in the next 2 to 3 years, really, because you've got to keep people coming back. Simple as that. It's a shop floor. Kieran Boyle, world-class facilities. What a joke. Aviva is only 3/4 built, missing the 4th stand. Name of Jesus. I like the Aviva. But yeah, I mean, that was down to they couldn't get those houses, could they? They wouldn't sell, and then the economy crashed.
It was that, but also I think they don't need it. They didn't need that end built, did they?
No,
otherwise they would have pushed it through. It wouldn't have. Again, it's a myth for us to bust. Apart from, I think Ireland have sold out the Aviva 4 times, if that, in the history of it.
I mean, I do think it's a lovely ground, though.
The demand is not there.
Not yet. Darren O'Grady, the Olympics in London 2012 left zero legacy. Same will happen with Euros 2028. Why give it any credibility without anything concrete return for League of Ireland, youth football, etc.? I don't necessarily agree with that, Darren. I think there was a fair bit of a legacy left over. That was a fair bit. I mean, if you look at the Copper Box Arena, Elizabeth Park, the Stadium of Stratford, which is now West Ham's, the Velodrome, the Aquatic Centre. I know these because I used to work there. I've worked at all those venues. No, I would disagree with that.
The regeneration of that Stratford, shopping centre, incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, Westfield, it's literally like a 10-minute walk from the site. So I don't agree there. There was a fair bit of and we live in London. I'm not sure if you live in London, Darren, but I live in London. I've worked there. Martin, listen to his accent. To
be sure.
To be sure. But I do agree with you about with Euro 2028. I don't, unless it's a way for them to clear the debt of the FEI, which will allow them to, and we don't know that, but we're just guessing, and then invest more into grassroots, because the grassroots are very good in Ireland, but also the League of Ireland, and I do agree, the League of Ireland, we need all the stadiums, bar one or two, bar the Shamrock Rovers one, like the one in Dundalk, the Brandywell, all these. Richmond Park just needs to be torn down and rebuilt, essentially, and we need good stadiums. We need good facilities, toilets, restaurant. You need a place that you want to bring a kid to, that you wouldn't mind bringing your wife to, your daughter to, just anything. Just no. I remember going to Delymount Park, and the away toilets for an away match. I was with the Pats fans, and your toilet was a wall. That was your urinal at the back of the stand. That was literally it. Come on. Anyway. Martin Fitzpatrick, when will Delymount be done up? 2026, I believe. That is according to Dublin City Council from the 3rd November 2022. It has a plan. If you just type in Delymount Park redevelopment plans, they have it all there. But yeah, they believe March 2026 is when it should be done. Glenn Forbes, I'd be for Mr. Whippy sponsorship for the Green Machine shirt. That's a good idea, actually. We should make that a t-shirt, Stand with Mr. Whippy. Darrell O'Connor again tried to get that keeper Umbro shirt, Martin. I missed it. Unfortunately, he's a cracker. That's probably because it didn't go on sale, Darrell. Have you not been?
We know what you're doing, Darrell.
You know it. Darrell knows the score. He knows what's going on.
Look, I'll be going to bed soon, and I don't want to be kept up all night thinking about that.
Yeah, and you don't be waking up to any WhatsApp messages, do you?
What the fucking...
Is that too close to the phone?
Very distressing time in my life, that was.
I was in Dublin Airport. To sort out a domestic issue, a family issue, and you were telling me all that. I was like, God, could you imagine that? And he goes, no, it's serious. Like, oh,
yeah. See, it was serious, and it's like something that happened at the airport the other day with Nick, and I believe Nick. And I started ringing everyone, panicking.
Yeah,
was very funny.
Nick can't. What? Will I tell the people?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can tell the story.
Yeah, I can tell them now. Just basically, Nick
was going to text me.
Going to kick on, text me. He was in England. He was going back over to Ireland, and he texted me, saying, "I'm going to wind Martin up on board." Well, okay. And he told Martin that he had all his Green Machine paraphernalia, jersey, stickers all taken off him because it was too much. And there was the sharp edges of the badges. And you actually fucking started ringing him and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, he really panicked me because it fucking took me hours putting it all together. That's why. The quality of the product. Yeah. Oh, actually, look, there you go. Another one. That's the product.
Yeah. You can get one of those, greenmachinepodcast.com/shop. It is quality.
Very nice. The badges, stickers. Yep.
FAI channel. Why does London get two stadiums? I don't know. It's probably because of the history with Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, they're kind of letting. Obviously, Wembley is probably going to be hosting the finals and the semi-final. And just probably some deal with just the infrastructures there. And London. Yeah, it's a new stadium. It's unbelievable, Tottenham Stadium. So it's actually more modern than Wembley. So
Wembley's a bit of a kip, actually. Wembley, we're talking about Croke Park. Wembley needs a bit of TLC. I haven't been there I've worked in Wembley, every level, 8 levels in Wembley. I've been there. I could do a podcast my time at Wembley. London can host it as well. London, if you've never been to London, phenomenal city, phenomenal infrastructure. It's just run by idiots. Sorry, it's true though. Glenn Forbes, I was the idiot who said it was the style of the home one, referring to the away jersey. I looked at it in a hurry. My bad. Poor.
Yeah, sorry, Glenn.
Thanks.
I didn't name a shame, did I? I didn't name a shame.
Just saying. How you getting to Athens, lads? From Darrell O'Connor. I have to go through Gatwick on the Wednesday, not getting into Greece till 3 in the morning local time. I'm just flying direct with EasyJet. Easy peasy.
And I'm not going.
See,
because I don't love Ireland anymore. No, I'm not able to go, sadly.
No, who are England playing that weekend?
I'm not sure who we're playing. Oh, I mean, who England are playing. Yeah, I could take the piss, lads. Fuck off.
Don't speak to our fans like that, man.
Sorry.
Irish supporters.
No, I'm not able to go, sadly, because I told you in the past I'm all about the grassroots. And where am I? Enfield Town, who we sponsor.
We do sponsor.
We've got our Player of the Year awards that evening and tournaments the next 2 days, actually 17th and 18th. So I had that well, I didn't have that in the planner diary, but I hadn't booked Athens, and then all this was thrown at me, and I went, oh, okay, I can't go. So,
Right.
shame.
Okay, well, I'm going to move it on here. Darren O'Grady hating. Oh, I'm going to all the matches, by the way. Just saying. Going to all the games. Just saying. As I always do. Darren O'Grady, great job, Martin. Didn't miss David all. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you, Darren.
Feck me. Can you kick him out again, Martin? That's brilliant, isn't it?
Jeez, Darren.
Just because I took his point about London to task. Lots of pub teams available at the Orange Feckers not interested, referring to Northern Ireland. FAI channel. What about Thomond Park in Limerick? Can that be used? I don't think that would actually meet UEFA standard. But you have to understand as well, just for anyone listening, like UEFA have the Aviva is the only stadium on the island of Ireland that can hold a European match, as if in a final, a UEFA qualifier. Sorry, not UEFA qualifier, like a UEFA tournament, such as the Euros, because it has to be, what grade is it? It's a grade 4 or something like that. It has to be.
I think it has to go through so many safety checks and the infrastructure, travel and everything. Yeah,
toilets, all that
disability,
stuff.
access, everything like that. Yeah.
And I'm not having to go. I've never been to Thomond Park, by the way. I would love to go. And I'm not having to go at Gaelic stadiums, but a lot of the Gaelic stadiums, including Park of Cueve and all of that. And the one in Thurles, Christ, I can't think of it.
Semple Stadium.
That's the one. They wouldn't. They look good. They look big, but they wouldn't pass these UEFA regulations. They just wouldn't. And why would the GAA, tear them down? Yeah, or help. Oh, controversial.
Well, it's different rules. That's the thing for them. For no stadiums,
yeah, they make their own fucking rules.
They pass the regulations, health and safety, rather than the UEFA stadium standards, basically.
Comfort. And all that kind of stuff. Glenn Forbes. I assume Martin owns the green, white, and orange book on the history of Irish soccer shirts by Eddie Mahoney.
Hello.
I need to get
brilliant.
That,
this is fantastic. This is I've obviously, we've chatted to Eddie in the past, and what I love about this is he actually explained to me the paper that they used. It kind of dates or something with it. It's a really intricate kind of paper he used for the photos and everything.
What do you mean, a rot?
It's not. It's something to do. I must look back at the episode, basically. Or I'd encourage everyone else to look at the episode,
which is available on the greenmachine.podcast.com.
Fantastic book, though. I mean, it really is, and the photos and the way he put a lot of time and love into it, and the editorship of it is.
Yeah, I love it.
And the collection is amazing, and I do have it. Yeah, I mean, it's worth investing in because it is an investment as far as I can see.
Yeah, no, I do love Eddie. I love, we don't always get on Twitter, but no, I love Eddie to bits, and hope everything is okay there with Eddie. FEI channel. Does the Turkey bid look good? Do you think it will be a close competition? Realistically, our bid should smash. If I'm being honest with you, I know I was given out about it. I don't see, other than Casement Park, but if they can't build that, then they'll just move it to another city in the UK. I cannot see this bid failing. Can't see failing.
No, I can't either, because I think they're going to be able to. They would host it next 2 months if they had to. I also think, and this is, I can't remember. I think what the word is to use here. We've got to remember that the people who are heading up our respective associations involved in this are all very important members of. Like, you're looking at 5 associations, all very powerful in a sense. Collectively, definitely, but individually, like Noel Mooney from UEFA,
working at UEFA,
basically. I mean, Noel designed some of the kind of processes in place for when an association messes up, and which we had experience of, and they're very powerful. English football was very powerful. That's it, and if they want to host it,
we're there for a bit of charm. We're there for a bit of charm, and the Welsh as well, because England aren't the most popular country. I'm not against England. I've lived here for 12 years, but it's just the way that they're viewed on the European stage, and they could easily host. I mean, you're looking at I had the map up there. I mean, there's no Leeds, although Ellen Road actually probably couldn't host the game. That's quite an old stadium. But like, you got Sunderland Stadium of Light, you got Stadium MK, Milton Keynes, which is 60 miles outside London. You could maybe the Amex. So many
Southampton.
places.
But I mean, you've got so many stadiums. England could host it again. Choosing
Next
the words
week.
carefully here. England, I think, probably didn't go for it on their own because the situation with the last Euros with the final and stuff.
And what
in the other associations.
And what I would say about the Euros 2020, I was in 2021. I was there. Martin, you were at the match. I was outside the ground. I saw I saw all the carnage outside it. You saw the carnage inside. Mitigating factors. One, middle of lockdown. It was like the police forgot how to police. I know the police operations in this country are so good, especially in London. I mean, London can host all the West End shows. They could have a stadium in Wembley. They could have a game in Wembley Stadium, or they could have a concert in Wembley Stadium. And they could have right across the road, Wembley Arena, have a concert there. They could have one in the O2. They could have several Premier League matches all in one day. Yeah. And it's policed perfectly. It was just that day was just mental. It's the first major event, I think, in the country since lockdown. It was a bit crazy. So, yeah, they have. I mean, I'd be shocked if they don't get it. And Turkey, apparently, I don't know too much about the Turkey one. But apparently they are having major issues. They need to build about 9 or 10 stadiums. Really, really in bad shape. They're probably, I think it's 8 stadiums they have to build. Because, with Turkey, like Istanbul, never been there, very modern city. Very forward-thinking city, but the rest of the country, moving on. Don't offend the Turks.
If Turkey get it, though, I would definitely be contacting Tony Cascarino to get him to come with me.
Yeah. Maybe call the game Bursa Sport. Darren O'Grady, thanks, lads. Love the show. Thank you very much, Darren. Daryl O'Connor, 6 points in June win now, and we're in for a shout for second spot. We are indeed. And Daryl, like myself, he's going to see all 4 aways. Good lad. And hopefully we destroy France. Or France destroyed Netherlands in a reverse fixture, and we're all laughing. Thank you guys for those comments. We're going to wrap things up here a little bit. We're just going to touch very lightly on the James McClean. Be sort of a bit out of order because of the technical, the GAA kicking me out. But James McClean, basically, he was abused by Blackpool, telling him to call him a Fenian, see you next Tuesday. And all that kind of stuff. So he has a right go here, Martin. This is simply just highlighting the double standard. Firstly, the FA have, and secondly, how utterly useless that the English FA are. And he puts a middle finger up. And then he quotes, "They have nothing in their whole imperial arsenal. Unbowed and unbroken is a tricolour." Apparently, they are actually investigating it, and he's not going to get trouble for that. I think he's right. I mean, the police were just standing there looking at it. There's a picture. I couldn't find it, but there is a picture of him staring at the fans, kind of grinning. And there's 2 police officers standing there looking at it.
Yeah,
he's being abused. But very quickly on that one.
He's used to it. Sadly, he shouldn't have to put up with it. But I think he comes across quite well when he gets those comments out there, and it should be highlighted. And I would hope, in a sense, that some of the other Irish lads who are also on the pitch at this time perhaps are supportive of him when he's highlighting it to the referee. He gets so much grief, it's ridiculous. And fair play to him for raising it, because I think he's one of the very few who do. And it should be raised as, and the police should do more. And stewards and stuff. But it's very difficult. They aren't the most, where he's playing, the level he's playing. I'm not giving an excuse for it, but they're not the most highly policed and stewarded matches.
No, and it's Blackpool.
I mean, the footage I've seen of it getting abuse is from a whole empty stand in Blackpool at the other end or whatever it is, and you could just, that's just what's happening. It's a shame it's happening, but fair play to him for highlighting it, and he's digging out and calling out the FA, and I think he'll just should continue to do that.
Yep, and they won't charge him either, even though he put a middle finger up. I love it. What are you going to say?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to say? Also, I was watching, I had a day off, and a rare day off, actually did nothing. And I was watching Endgame Northern Ireland on the BBC iPlayer. It's actually on YouTube as well. Fascinating documentary about the Good Friday Agreement, 4-parter. And I was watching Carl Fitzgerald chatting away to Margaret Thatcher signing the Anglo-Irish Agreement, and I couldn't help it. But he's the image of Roy Hodgson.
Oh, Jesus.
He is, isn't he?
Is he? Oh, I thought he was holding a hand there, but Jesus.
I do a lot. I do a lot for fucking. He would do a lot for Irish peace, but probably not that, Martin. Jesus. El Maggie, yeah.
Throwback.
That is Anglo-Irish Agreement 1985. But yeah, I just couldn't help that one. So we're going to move it on. Last part of the show will be this week back in the day, Martin. You and I back in the recording studio. We did take a little bit of a hiatus. Where is it? I can't find the little video thing. Fuck's sakes, I do this every time. Oh, wait.
This is where the obsession comes through.
Here we go.
This is
Yeah,
where you all know that he's obsessed.
Well, with facts and...
Let's see. What is it this week, then?
This week is when Roy Keane smashes Alfinga Haaland. And that will be coming out. And if you're wondering, oh, what's this? We can't show the clip because it'll be taken off YouTube. But there you go. Have some of that sunshine.
It's not even a ball there.
No. No.
Oh, there actually is. Is that by his arm? No?
Yes.
That is, yes. Yeah. But he's won the ball there.
Oh, he has.
Was that giving us a handball against Keane? I think he should probably a handball.
Yeah, that's why he was sent off, Martin. Not the assault on the pitch. But anyway, Martin and I we've actually just recorded the episode and some interesting topics there. And an interesting take on it by Martin, I will say. Trying to compare a particular tackle by Keane in Irish folklore to that. So if you want to hear Martin's take on how that compares to a tackle on Mark Overmars, have a listen this Wednesday, 8 o'clock on our YouTube channel. If you want a video, like a video podcast, well, not actually video podcast, but you know, the lovely graphic that we do. Or if you want to go to where you get your podcast, Spotify, that sort of stuff, it'll all be released Wednesday, 8 a.m. We have a good chat about that. There's a bit of crack, actually, to be fair. But yeah, just looking at some extra comments actually that have come in there. I know we don't normally do this, but Darren O'Grady just commented. They're saying that we should show a message of solidarity for James McClean. I mean, I think we do. We normally, I didn't share that one actually, but we normally do share them. And actually, James McClean, I think he does actually follow Lansing Road, so he knows we support him. We know we stand with him. You know,
we have highlighted. To be fair, we've highlighted a lot of this in the past. We've had conversations about James McClean, and we've had the debate in a way that whether he brings it on himself, not that kind of abuse, but whether some of his comments and some of the silliness he has been guilty of in the past, you know, does bring it on himself, but not in this take, of course.
No, absolutely not. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. We will be back next week, so don't forget to join us for This Week Back in the Day, 8 a.m. We'll be available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast from. We'll be back next week, 9:30 p.m. live on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. And also, if you want to support the podcast, lads, just a little bit more, go grab your jersey. We've only plugged it 50 times. That is greenmachinepodcast.com/shop. And you can also get a lovely badge pack. €20 or £18, free delivery anywhere in the world. Or for the jersey, that is €45 free delivery and £40 free delivery. Why not? And also on greenmachinepodcast.com. If you like your articles, we've got tons of articles. We've got loads of episodes. We'll have an audio version of this. All of our stuff is on there. We have manager series, the whole lot. Head over to greenmachinepodcast.com. Right, we're definitely going to leave it there now. We've gone over a bit. It's only supposed to be a 30-minute podcast. That didn't work out, did it? We did have a few technical snafus. Anyway, listen, guys, thank you so much. Do give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. And anywhere you get your podcast from. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.